we go.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John don't come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do.
Florida man standing in his sunroof while driving his Cadillac down I-40.
What you gonna do, what you gonna do when they come for you?
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm LaReina Creole, of course, bringing you that spice when it comes to sci-fi and pop culture analysis, keeping it real when it comes to theme parks, and most definitely, I'm laughing because I think Fox got copyright claimed by Disney, their own company. Yes, I did have the Super Bowl. That's the biggest fail. I swear to God. Anyway. Welcome to Florida Show. So glad you guys are all here with us today. This evening. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a very, very educational show, especially for those of you, I want to say in like two categories. If you are interested in trying to trace your family's roots through a combination of DNA and historical records, or if you are interested in very little known Black history in Florida and something that is so profound, I can't believe a film hasn't been made about it. And that's because Florida actually was the location of the first free Black settlement in the United States over 200 years before the Underground Railroad, believe it or not. But it is very, very true. I wasn't taught that. I happen to find it researching my own family because I actually have a tie to it. So we're going to talk about that. Of course, all kinds of cool, funny stuff to talk about as well. So let's bring in my panelists. Let's see. We have got Erica, we have got Dad Man Walking, and we have got Tom with us. How are you guys doing?
I'm laughing at you were saying Disney might have claimed what?
Themselves?
Fox.
Don't they own Fox?
Yes.
I know. So they claimed themselves?
Taken down by a copyright claim by Disney. I'm reading, I'm not showing you.
Stupid is and stupid does.
I'm looking and they're, interviewing. Maybe it's because they were interviewing somebody from the Patriots. Maybe that's what they claimed it. I don't know.
It's a battle of AI, Disney versus
Fox.
Oh
my gosh.
I think it's hilarious.
It's so hilarious.
I thought we lost LaReina there for a moment, though. I mean, she lost it. She really hard on that one.
I was, oh my gosh.
She was not prepared for that type of comedy at the moment.
I was not. Let's see. I'm actually trying to find the darn halftime show. Either way, I'll find it a little bit later. I'll find it.
This is the halftime show. This show should be the halftime show.
That's true. This is 100% the halftime show. I cannot believe Fox got claimed. I actually do. I think I don't have ESPN because I didn't do that. I'm like, screw that. That's freaking hysterical. I can't. That was funny. It's absolutely funny. Let me see. Did somebody else get claimed? Man, everybody is trying to seriously get some.
So the new meme's going to be, "Hey, bro, don't claim me, bro."
Yeah, don't claim. Too funny. Anyway, I'll check it out later. Let's see who we all have up in here. Yeah, it's somebody's echoing. I don't think it's me. If it is me, I need to check my.
It's Erica. She's fixing it.
Hey, Scott Westbrook, so good to see you, my dear, and thank you for gifting those 10 LaReina Creole memberships. Let me blow you up with the old school one. This is pathetic.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time. Here at Lester's.
Elephant green screen effect.
Well, thank you, Scott, for gifting those 10 LaReina Creole memberships. Thank you so much. If you got gifted a membership from Scott, please do tell him thank you. He supports so many of us out here in the interwebs in this space. So we sure do appreciate it, my dear. Thank you. And let's see who we have got in the chat before we get started. I see you guys over on X. I see you on YouTube between my channel and Tom's channel. So please do make sure that you are subscribed to both of us. Erica, you getting your channel up? Yep. Okay. So as soon as Erica's channel gets up there, I'll let you guys know. And you can go over there and make sure that you subscribe.
I'm tweaking my audio. Now I hear you guys yelling at me in my ears. I'm trying to get my volume controlled.
There's got to be just a simple volume control for that.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing my ass off. The fuck got claimed.
Folks, LaReina's been laughing for 10 minutes on that.
Yeah, I just think it's hilarious. It's like, friendly fire.
So it's like, how do you output the halftime show? How do you outperform it? You claim yourself. Mm-hmm. Problem solved.
Completely. Let's see. Of course, Tom is here, and of course, Erica is here. We've got John, the Beagle Dad. Good to see you. And let's see, we have got Buddy Hepburn in the chat as well. Says, howdy, y'all. We have got Keely Chow here, of course, who says, hey, everybody. Good morning from Hong Kong. I am so jealous. So jealous, my dear. Hopefully one day I can get to Hong Kong. And let's see, we have Linda in the chat as well. So
she
good to
follows
see
me
you
everywhere.
Here.
I don't know why.
I do something about that.
Yeah, she stalks me in my sleep, even.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, good to see you, Linda. So good to see you. And let's see who else we have. Let's see, who I said we have John Beagle Dad. Let's see, we have got Lonnie Holcomb in the chat as well. It says, howdy, folks. We have got Dylan in the chat as well. Dylan C. Good to see you, my dear. And let's see, trying to make sure we got everybody here. Such a lovely face. I love seeing her. Chelsea Chan is here. Says, hi, LaReina. Hello, my dear. And let's see. Was it Fox Corp, the part that Disney doesn't own? You know what? Actually, yeah, but who has the rights to the Super Bowl this year? Who's broadcasting?
It's on NBC right now.
Okay.
Peacock also.
Peacock. Okay.
Did you see what Linda just wrote?
No.
I feel jilted.
Wow, if it's on Peacock TV, then yeah, that's exactly where I'm gonna go bring it up.
I had to watch it on there because my local channel reception stinks because of stupid, the analog digital thing.
Something else. Let me tell you. It's bad when you forget just how many freaking streaming services you have. And I have Peacock because I have Walmart Plus.
Walmart Plus
gives you Peacock or what's the other one you could pick from? There's two.
HBO?
You have to pick or the other. No, it's Peacock and Paramount Plus.
I have it like over in. I have it on. Sorry, I had to look at this. I had to listen to it. first of all, the beat is banging, but I find it very interesting that he has all the Puerto Ricans cutting sugar cane when a lot of that sugar cane used to be cut by slaves in Puerto Rico. But no one asked me for my opinion.
No,
No one
folks,
asked me. No one asked me. So anyway,
you know, that could be a great stream you do sometime later, is have a specific halftime show breakdown of here's all the historical that people don't aware are not aware of the roots.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could totally break it down. So for some folks who
That scene.
also for some folks who don't know,
Yeah.
hey Andy Manderson, how you doing? For some folks who don't know, every time I do DNA testing, the bulk of my matches are not from North America. They're from the Caribbean. Interesting. Hey, Shinotsky, be it modern day or 200 years ago, one thing remains true. People are stupid. You've always got that concentration of people who are stupid.
Yeah, I know a lot of them.
I can't watch that show. It's like he's in that white suit, and I'm thinking of Taco from Putting on the Ritz, that song from the 80s. It's just like
I'm half tempted to turn it on, but I don't think I want to see it.
You know what? You guys should have me break down the halftime show because all I can think of right now is rip off Daddy Yankee. That's all I can think of right now.
I think you should.
So if he brings Daddy Yankee out, all right.
I hear somebody listening to it.
Not me.
I don't know what that is. It's like a waterfall.
It's coming in from somebody's feed.
Not me.
What is it you're hearing again?
Okay,
No,
it's on now.
Wait. Yeah. We're hearing the static come back to whatever you're listening to. Okay.
From
yes.
Yeah, now it's gone.
Oh, now it's gone?
Yeah.
Now it's back.
Now it's back.
Damn. I'll be back. Stupid technology.
Yep.
She's got a ghost in her machine.
Dun dun dun.
Anyways, I switched to Turning Point. I can't watch TP USA's either. I'm sorry. Not sorry. That's a boring ass line.
We are at a halftime show. Come on, let's say it.
Yeah.
That man starts singing Unicorn Song.
No, I just
thank you, Soul Assassin. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. But anyway,
I just need your camera and start dancing.
Thank you. I'll put on the Olympics. Oh no, you do that either. I can't. Soul Assassin, there are so many stories that we're actually going to do another stream about a lot of cases where slaves could actually sue under Spanish law, sue their owners. There's so many cases in there where it's just like, damn, really?
LaReina, I just had a friend that texted me, what is this nonsense on my TV screen? I will say it's quite funny with the sound off about the halftime show. Yeah.
I like that.
Daddy Yankee already did it. You think I'm kidding? Go on YouTube. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. Go on YouTube, put in Daddy Yankee Gasolina video. That's it. Now they have the Puerto Rican frog out. Cookie. Anyway, yeah. Go look at that. Nothing new.
And look, Paulie's doing a live reaction, and I'm just watching his face, and it's comical.
I gotta talk to Paulie. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get us into the Floridian state of mind. No, I cannot show you the halftime show because I'm not getting my stream pulled. No.
They're throwing a wedding. They're throwing a wedding out in the middle of it. Why? Anyway. Oh, then is that Lady Gaga? Oh,
the hell?
They revealed, is that Lady Gaga there? Or is that someone else?
Don't know who that is.
I don't know.
Anyway, Valentine's Day is coming up. Of course, we got the flamingo, and we've got Buddy Gator there. He's got a fish and a heart. He managed
Aw.
to make a fish and a heart. Okay, that's the whitest Puerto Rican I've ever seen. And can I just say it's very interesting because salsa actually originated in the black neighborhoods in Cuba and in Puerto Rico, and it was considered to be a very gauche, vulgar dance. Just saying. Anyway,
That's what you get. Hot take live reaction from LaReina
get-
Creole.
you get hot takes from me with this, all right?
I didn't know if you were reading off a script or you just went off ad lib
Oh
on that
my
one.
gosh, you know what? It's actually Cuban salsa.
Wait. Not like the chip dip, right?
I'm sorry. It is. You know why? Because they got the horns going on. Because with Puerto Rican salsa, you've got the clave, you've got, the tambores, you have that. But Cuban salsa, they bring out the whole freaking band. And that's what's going on. Oh my God. Anyway, he ain't Phil.
Yay! Can he eat the halftime show while he's at it?
Yeah, please.
He can have the other halftime show for dessert too, LaReina, since you're not a fan of that one either.
We got.
We have lost LaReina tonight.
Hey, Barry on.
Erica, that's
Oh
back. to the
God, I
vengeance.
can't. And he can't dance. Oh my God, I thought Pitbull couldn't dance. Anyway, next slide. Florida man arrested for riding alligator through Wendy's drive-thru, demanded chicken nuggets. Somebody said, God forbid men have hobbies.
I didn't believe that when I first saw it. It just seemed like that we've lived that story so many times already. But apparently he did. It was a real story.
It is.
It's still got to be better than performing at the freaking Super Bowl.
They've gone to Nueva York, and that does not look like any kind of bodega I've been to.
You got people on top of the building too. Yeah, the band's on top of the building.
Basically, we're trying to recreate West Side Story, but anyway.
I like Budberry said, how alligator riding, how it is possible. I guess.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? He said, yeah, Napoleon needed that money to fight the Russians. Things weren't going well. He said, "You want all of it?" Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Publix is so packed today. Everyone acts like there's something special going on today. Have y'all been in Publix today at all?
I went to Aldi's. I stayed away from Publix on purpose.
I went to Publix. It's like that's where everybody is getting their darn Super Bowl snacks from.
Yep.
Because, hey, they got the platters, all the food, the fried chicken, the everything,
Listen, you go down Aldi's and when you get to their potato chips and their cheese doodle aisle, it's usually packed, right?
Right.
There was like 4 bags left of freaking cheese doodles. I'm like, they're $1.86 or something. I mean, people are going to buy them.
Get a stadium cake from I saw that. I saw the stadium cake. I even saw a football cake.
I want wings, but I won't order wings today of all days.
Hold on a second. Ricky Martin?
What are they climbing telephone? Wait, what are they on telephone poles for? Or electrical poles?
I don't know.
I'm like,
they're trying to pole dance. Who knows?
I guess that's Central. I don't know. Is that supposed to be Central Park?
Oh
I have no idea.
Watch this again.
Well, I do know Puerto Rico has a problem with their electrical grid. I do know that. Talk about rolling blackouts every.
Oh, and they got. I don't know which flag that is right there.
That is the Puerto Rican flag.
What about it?
I mean, if you look at
power
Captain
grids?
America, he looks like Captain Puerto Rico.
Making fun of the power grid. Making fun of the power grid too. It's like,
yeah, the power grid is horrible.
Who came up with this? Look, you know me, LaReina. You know I have no rhythm. I could come up with this is like Riff Tracks MST3K.
I'm falling asleep. If I was, I would be like, all right, I'm out. Who wants snacks? Let's all go. This is just not hitting it.
Yeah.
The Olympics should take place in Jacksonville, Florida, so the athletes have to figure out which gunshot is starting.
Hey, I know we're bad, but we're not that bad as the internet says. I mean, I heard Cat Williams one time.
West side of Jacksonville, yes.
No.
Yes. Definitely west side of Jacksonville.
You're tied with Miami, brother. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Totally is.
Oh, gosh. Well, we had the Super Bowl once, and we had to bring in cruise ships. So, well, hey, why not? Gosh.
When Puerto Rico's power went out, a lot of linemen went there to get power going. My dad was one of the linemen who went. Yeah, because their power grid is ass. I mean, it is what it is. Everyone I know, even one dude I used to date who was Puerto Rican, told me he hated going back there because, the power grid is so awful. So you're going to bring around like all the, why do we, okay, all right, if this is the Super Bowl, why the heck you got all the freaking Latin countries? Why can't it just be Puerto Rico?
You're asking the wrong people. You must ask Disney.
You will hear me talk later. Oh God, I got to talk about this eventually at a later time, because this. Anyway, you know what? Daddy Yankee probably said, "F this." I got a reputation to uphold. I'm not dealing with that mess.
Oh,
yo, this okay. This halftime show, I'm gonna say it. You can clip this right now. This halftime show was ass. Okay, completely ass. Again, go watch a Daddy Yankee video. Gasolina. That's it. That's all you need to watch. Oh,
that's all that was?
My God. Oh no. Daddy Yankees was way better.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Way freaking better.
Oh man.
I can't.
What people would do just to go back to have a Janet Jackson nipple slip again?
That Prince.
Something.
I would say drag the Rolling Stones old ass out. Get them up there to perform.
At this point, I would have Motley Crue out there with bad Vince Neil, for Christ's sakes.
I don't care. I would say, get Guns N' Roses, the original, as many of them as possible. I don't know, whatever's going on between Slash and Axl, y'all squash that crap, okay?
Yeah, just get a paycheck, please.
I mean, at this point, I think I would be fine with watching. What the hell is the name of that band? Milli Vanilli.
You know what? Yeah.
Look, I didn't even have the sound on, but just the visuals were like so cringy, creepy.
It was. Yeah, it just wasn't. No.
And then climbing up a power pole.
It was not hitting. It was not hitting whatsoever. Was not hitting.
Nope.
Floridians when a cold front comes through. The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed.
Yep. That's last week.
I'm so tired of cold weather. I'm like, it needs to be gone. It needs to be gone.
Well, I noticed out there now there's something about the cold this year. I mean, it's like there's more humidity or something. It is much more bitter than it has been in other years. Even like at 40 degrees, it feels colder than that. I don't know, other than just getting older.
Bad.
Huh?
Humidity's been bad. Did you see Erica's message, LaReina?
No.
She
okay. I see. She got to reboot. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes that'll happen.
Yep.
I'm gonna have my little computer and I fried it.
Yeah.
It would just like drop my whole stream. Then I'd have to like start it back up again.
Don't get Tom started on Fortnite though.
Listen.
ACDC. Oh, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. And the Winter Soldier says, I love the Super Bowl halftime tribute to Hurricane Maria, devastated Puerto Rico and resulted in the largest power blackout in U.S. history. Okay. That's the reference that I was missing because I was just like, why the heck are they doing that? So you mean the largest power blackout in history with respect to the whole, because that island was devastated by the hurricane. It was just, that's why Lyman had to go down there because the hurricane was so bad it knocked out everything. So thank you for the reference. Now it makes sense. That makes sense. I have some visual nits, and honestly, yes, and that's the thing. There's like a stage presence that Daddy Yankee has, and Pitbull. Granted, he is probably the most rhythmless Cuban I've ever seen in my life. He's got that stage thing going on, and I feel like that was.
You think at this point, Willie Nelson would do a better job at the songs?
Probably.
Yeah.
And I wasn't seeing things. That was Ricky Martin, right?
I had my back turned at that part. I don't know.
Because the reason why is because I heard his voice, and the strength of his voice is how I knew who it was. Because they said he was going to bring somebody out, and we were taking bets. And some folks were like,
he already came out of the closet. So what's the difference?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it was a joke. You said he brought somebody out. You already came out of the closet. So.
Oh, I actually used to go to school with his half sister back in the day. Actually, kind of cool. Called Prince down from heaven. Yeah. Scott Westbrook says you're right about that, damn man. Anyway, this is us, Floridians in the cold. Are the iguanas falling, or is it warm enough to go outside? Too darn funny. Oh my gosh. For a minute, I thought Tom was frozen.
No, I was reading something. I'm like, it's that time when my family and my dad likes to text me and try to call me because.
Oh yeah. It's just like,
LaReina, I'm going to send you something. It's a picture. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's kind of funny.
Okay, let's take the.
It's on your text because it won't go to X for some damn reason, and it has something to do with what you're showing right now.
Jakes.
Yep.
Chicken
I was
in the
calling
tree.
that 2 weeks ago. Remember?
Yeah.
Sustainable too.
Chicken in the tree. Yep.
And versatile. Harvested in the tropics, a new protein experience. There you go.
And you get holsters and wallets and slippers out of them.
Mm-hmm. All kinds of things. Don't waste it. We don't waste a darn thing. Yes, it was Ricky Martin. I freaking knew it.
Oh, you mean good old Summer Sizzle showed up?
Yes, Ricky Martin. Yes, Ricky Martin. Pedro Pascal also made a cameo because, of course, he would be there. Pedro Pascal. He's from freaking what? Oh, where the heck is he from? Chile. Yeah, this dictator Pinochet. I mean, Ricky Martin makes sense because Ricky Martin is Puerto Rican. All right, you know what I would have really have loved to have seen. I'm going to drop this, and this is what they really could have did to hammer home the theme of America is bring out all the vets who were Puerto Rican who served in our military. That would have freaking been absolutely awesome. Missed opportunity, folks. Just saying. Just saying.
And that's what we got. You know, I when you're reacting like that, that because I saw the Goodell's comments about unification and coming to all this stuff, and I'm like, it looked like a bad Broadway play. And like you said, I mean, if it's that parallel to something else that's been done, you don't do that. Part of it's the originality. You know, when Michael Jackson performed, he did his thing. You know, when he did that 2 minutes, you know, that long pause, he forced that in there. And it was like, but it made the performance. It wasn't this, whatever you want to call that. But that just, I mean, it's,
it should have been America and none of these other freaking flags except the Puerto Rican flag. Especially, first of all, considering how proud Puerto Ricans are about their flag, why the hell y'all got all them other flags on the field? Explain again. I went to school.
I'm kind of watching as we're talking.
Exes of Puerto Ricans, they are proud of the Puerto Rican flag. They will. Well, that's a whole Caribbean thing anyway. Everybody's proud of their flag. I don't know who's more obscene about their flag, Jamaicans or Puerto Ricans. It's constant, you know. It's a contest every year. Doesn't matter. But why wasn't it just that there and the United States flag? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I will be picking that thing apart for the longest time. And yeah, Daddy Yankee, I'm glad you didn't show up in that, man, because that was a hot mess. Woo! I love this one. Class action lawsuit. Iguanas versus winter.
Lizard. Yes, sorry.
Remember when Super Bowl used to unite people? I miss those days. Yeah, considering what we saw, Bad Bunny should have kept his mouth shut. Just saying.
I just watched somebody actually playing Star Spangled Banner on guitar and breaking it out on that turning point. I was just going skim through it fast and happened to stop on that.
How close is it to my favorite rendition of the Star Spangled Banner on guitar, which will always be from Jimi Hendrix, actually?
It's bad, but it's not. It doesn't. Nobody plays like Jimmy, but that's. Well, there's a couple, but they don't get that. You know, there's some vibes, but this was not bad. I was shocked.
I'm sorry, I'm losing it with this meme. This is not meant to be represent the real actual law firm, right? You might have a disclaimer on that one, because that shoulder and that tuck is very unique.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but
isn't it? No, got the hair too.
Come over.
Yeah.
Any resemblance to real life people is completely accidental and not intended.
It's the meme, folks. We're here for the memes. That's why we're here. We're here for the memes. You know what, Aldo, if you're watching this, you may have to do me a solid and clip everything I said into a short about the Bad Bunny halftime show for the Super Bowl.
Well, he has to watch this eventually.
Usually he's watching the Spice Lounge, but yeah, this one's a one-off. You might have to clip that one. Let's see. Nothing Tony Satchery can't make taste good. Tony Satchery is really salty. That's why
That's iguana meat. How are we gonna know?
You can kind of overdo it a little bit.
But have you ever had iguana?
I have not had it, but if it's anything like Gator, where you're going to have to tenderize that first, and I don't like Tony Chachere's because it
Oh,
has too much of a salt content. Tony Chachere is a Creole seasoning, but it has too much salt in it. I use Slap Your Mama.
I just want to say that if the iguana
Mhm.
looks like this as we try to cut it up and eat it, I'm not having it.
You're the proud iguana.
And before surrounded by marijuana plants, but it was sugar. Yes, it was sugar cane. You missed my comment about sugar cane. Okay. Oh, Lord. She banged. You know who they should have gotten for the Super Bowl? I know they're not an American act, but you know what they should have gotten for the Super Bowl? Huntrix. The
Well,
K-pop demon hunters.
there's a couple of ladies that can do the American
yep.
version because they're from America and they're really good.
Mm-hmm. That would have been absolutely rocking for sure. Rocking for sure. Tony Chachere's original Creole seasoning is the bomb. It's good in a pinch. Again, it's just me. It's a little too salty. I would rather like to be able to control that salt content a little better. Just me. Haven't tried Cajun two-step though. Have to put that one on a list. Hey, G Nice Gamer. And let's see, we got G Nice Gamer here, and we have Magically MJ as well, just passing through, saying hi, hugs to all. Okay, and let's see. All right, cool. So let's see who won the poll. I'm
The
gonna end it
poll?
right now. Who won the poll?
It was like golf cart chop shop,
Golf cart chop shop. Okay.
just about 10%.
All right, just about to. Okay. All right. Golf cart chop. Okay. All right. Here we go. And I don't know why I'm surprised about this, but I shouldn't be. Coming from thevillagesnews.com. Wildwood squatter accused of running golf cart chop shop arrested with thousands in stolen goods. Now, we got
I got a funny thing about the golf cart. Playing Battlefield 6 with my dad, there's a map where it's happening in California, and you can jump golf carts and drive your soldier across the field in these golf carts. So it's
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Hang on. I forgot. We have to have Skip remind folks about the golf cart. Okay, here we go.
If you got a golf cart, don't leave your bag in there. Don't leave groceries in there. Don't leave your sunglasses hanging inside. Don't leave the key in the golf cart. Don't leave the key in the golf cart. Don't leave your purse in the bag in the back. And don't leave the key in the golf cart.
Don't leave the key in the golf cart, man. So a 32-year-old man who was allegedly squatting on Welper property, okay, so we already read that one, Joshua Wayne Harrell was taken into custody on Wednesday by Sumter County Sheriff's deputies who were responding to an unrelated call along West Clark Street in Wildwood. While on the scene, investigators recognized Harrell as a person of interest in a series of high-value thefts across the villages and surrounding areas. Deputies also observed multiple golf carts, engines, and various components in plain view near a travel trailer where Harrell had been living in for several months. SCSO detectives obtained a search warrant and later confirmed the property was used to alter, dismantle, and reassemble stolen vehicles to disguise their identities.
So can I get a cheap golf cart? Asking for a friend.
Golf cart, asking for a friend.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how cheap it's gonna be. Kind of hot.
That man needs one for his Fortnite streams.
Yes.
Yeah. All the time.
Let's see. Recovered items include 4 golf carts in various stages of modification, a Can-Am UTV reported stolen from Wildwood in January, 2 red Yamaha side-by-sides valued at over $23,000, and various commercial tools such as chainsaws and battery rechargers. Harrell's arrest follows a months-long investigation into several thefts. There's a mugshot only a mother could love. There you go.
That's total chin beard, it looks like.
Yeah, kind of, huh? I think he's
neck beard. Neck beard.
Well, I don't know.
Neck beard.
Kind of the wannabe Amish look, but I don't know.
Wait.
Those
There's
eyes,
videos. How to hot wire golf cart. Yeah, you know what?
Really? How do you know about that?
This better be in GTA 6. Hot wire golf cart. It's based on Florida Man stories. I mean, it's not a Florida Man game unless you can get to do that. You know, is a Florida fatigue real? Never. No. Nah. We got all the crazy stuff going on here. So let's see.
There's a lot more crazy where we used to come from, but it's happened so much that nobody talks about it.
No. We're just like, yeah, it happens. So apparently, let's see, in November 2025, entered a brand new Yamaha concierge rental cart at the Waterfront Inn in the Villages and removed his $5,000 motor. Investigators identified him after his palm print was discovered on the cart's rear fender. Dumbass, you should have worn gloves. Not saying that I'm not condoning criminal behavior, but
don't give them any help.
Why would you not? Yeah, y'all not smart. Anyway, it's only by the grace of God I did not go into organized crime. Anyway, police reports indicate Harrell was okay. We did that one. Another one at the Waterfront Inn. Burglary of a work truck where over 3,700 in Milwaukee brand power tools was stolen. So apparently, dude's being held in the Sumter County Detention Center on a litany of charges, including operating a chop shop, 4 counts of burglary, 4 counts of grand theft, 3 counts of petty theft, 2 counts of trespassing, and criminal mischief. Deputies believe the illegal activity spanned several months and involved thefts from multiple locations throughout the county. Additional charges may be pending as the investigation
Now, you know, any of
continues.
his friends that were reading this got to the word litany and they totally lost what the hell that meant.
What? Litany? That just means your rap sheet is really long.
They're going, litany? I thought her name was Brittany. What's up with that?
They could have been a Penn State fan and thought they were Nittany Lions.
Nitty-titty?
Yeah, but I know.
I was gonna say, you know what the joke is about toilet paper? Penn State.
No, what?
It's Penn State degree. Take one.
Dad, man, I'm gonna give you my my thing for that joke.
No, nice, Tom.
Well, we have got. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, they are just like ripping Bad Bunny right now. Oh gosh. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Yeah, that was Lady Gaga.
Yeah, thought so.
Anyway. You know, Guy Scar just replied, I'm having him on the Spice Lounge. We gonna talk about it. we gonna have the Latino Council and we're gonna talk about it.
No.
Anyway, so many of y'all here. Let's get started a little bit. So you'll probably hear me rambling a lot, talking a lot, but there's a lot of information. I've been researching my family's history since 2012 and actually got started. That was when finally prices for DNA testing had become kind of manageable. And my grandfather, well, my paternal grandfather, was just like, okay, I need you to get the family history. He was a World War II vet, okay, Black man in Europe, other places. And he's just like, you need to get the family history written down because no one else is going to do it but you. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, granddad. All right. Because I tried to in 8th grade for a little bit. I wish I would have kept that information. But he's like, you're going to be the one to do it. So, okay. Take the DNA test, right? No Native American close enough to qualify for that Seminole Indian money. And it turns out that the Native American actually came from Mexico, of all places. And then I'm trying to figure out why the heck do I have all of these matches from the Caribbean, like Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Mexico, Central America. It's like, what the heck is going on looking at this? So I go back because they always say you start with what you know when you're trying to build a family tree. You start with what you know. You start with yourself, then you go to your parents, and then you go to your grandparents, and then from there to like your great grandparents if you know who you are, who they are. So I could go back to my great grandparents. And one of the things that I noticed is that none of my family has ever been north of Interstate 10. And we've never been more than, I want to say, 35, 40, 50 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, Atlantic. You get the point. So I'm like, okay, how does that work? So, you go back and you start looking at, records, birth certificates, death certificates, all of this stuff. I try to get information about my family. And of course, there's the quote unquote wall of 1860. But with Florida, it was different. Even with some people who were born, like say around 1860, you will see their birth dates in the census. So especially if you're doing research where it comes to Black Americans, anybody who came over here or was here during the Civil War, the census of 1870 was the first time when freed slaves were actually enumerated in the census. And they said, like, put down like where they're, where they were born, where their parents were born, all of that. So I get that information and I start looking. I couldn't get past 1840, I want to say 1840, nothing at all. And I'm like, well, why is that? Then I find out, guess what? And I can't believe that I didn't know this, but I didn't. Florida didn't become a U.S. territory until 1821, did not become a state until 1841. So any records before 1821 are either in Cuba, deteriorating, or the Americans stopped the Cubans from taking off with all of the records and stuff. Yeah, so they tried to leave with like the archdiocese records and all that. It's like, no. This government's like, we paid for it. All that ish is ours. So I find this map here, which is very, very interesting. So you have, and this is from 1873. Map was actually made in Madrid. So here you have the Castillo de San Marcos. Big thing here in the middle. Of course, there's the Matanzas Bay. And then if we blow this up, you see that Villa de Indias over there? The church to the right, that's the Iglesia. Those are for the praying Indians, the ones that converted to Catholicism. Then over here to the right, you see Puerto Negro. That is the Negro Fort. That is Fort Mose, the first free Black settlement in the Americas. And this is on a map in 1783. How many of you guys had ever heard of this before?
Never.
Yeah,
Nope.
being local, I've heard of it. Yeah, but yeah.
I had no idea,
Mhm.
none. And you're probably like, well, how the heck did you wind up finding this out? Okay, well, it's kind of wild. So come to the BBC, and we'll get back to this article in a little bit. Fort Mose, the first free black town in the U.S. So nearly 200 years before slavery was abolished in the U.S., black freedom seekers journeyed south instead of north to a place that promised freedom. So I'll read this first paragraph, which is really, really freaking awesome. And they need to make a movie about this. In October of 1687, a dugout canoe arrived at the shores of St. Augustine, then a settlement in Spanish Florida, and now the oldest continuously occupied city in mainland US. The canoe carried 8 men, 2 women, one of whom was holding a toddler in her arms. The travelers were black fugitives who had escaped enslavement by British plantation owners in the Carolinas to the north. After disembarking from their vessel, they headed to the town center in search of freedom. Again, I had not heard this story at all until I started researching it. And apparently around 1687, 1686, Charleston, South Carolina was one of the biggest slave markets. There was like a triangular trade that happened between South Carolina, Cuba, St. Augustine, and back up to South Carolina. You had a lot of free black people of African descent, mulattoes who were Spanish citizens, a lot of them who were sailors, actually. So they would go up to Charleston all the time. Information would get exchanged. It's just like, look, Spanish governor down there says this because they can't freaking stand the British. If you are a slave and you escape to Spanish Florida and you convert to Catholicism and you pledge your loyalty to his most Christian majesty, I think it was King Carlos, I think the second, I think at the time, you did that, you get sanctuary here, you get land. That was Fort Mose. That's what you got. And for the longest time, people were actually escaping to get down to St. Augustine. It's an absolutely incredible story. And we're going to jump back into this article in a little bit. But I kind of want to show you, this is the rabbit hole that I had to go down. I keep calling her, it's true. OG LaReina Creole, so Francis Robinson. Her husband was Moses Robinson. We always thought his name was Moses. We always thought that's what it was. I'm like, okay, you know what? I need a death certificate because you got to get this information about people. So I get the death certificate. That does not look like Moses. That actually says Mose. I thought that was a typo. I totally thought that was a typo. So I had to call and ask my aunt. I said,
LaReina,
was your grandfather? Yes.
take that down for a second, please.
Take what?
Check the back chat.
What am I checking the back chat for? Oh. Gotcha. Anyway, so hang on, there's something I want to clear out. But anyway, as I was saying, where's my picture? Okay,
I didn't mean to derail you. Sorry.
That's your picture. That's okay. So I asked my aunt. I'm just like, is his name Moses? or Mose? And she says, yeah, actually his name is Mose. I'm like, really? So why did they call him Moses? I said, that's just what they wound up calling him. Well, actually, Mose is Spanish for Moses. And I just start doing research and I look, and the whole long name of what Fort Mose is El Pueblo de Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose, on the shore of Robinson Creek. His last name was Robinson. So I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't believe in coincidences. There were too many things that were just starting to line up with what was going on here. So I'm like, okay, what is this place called Fort Mose? And why have I never heard of it? So again, this was the first free Black settlement in the Americas, and all you had to do was get here. You got here, converted to Catholicism, pledged your loyalty to the King of Spain, you got land, you were protected. The men had pretty much all the men in the colony had to be part of the militia. But yeah, they were protected under Spanish law. It got to be so bad that the King of England formally protested the King of Spain about this happening in the colonies. And for the longest time, they were like, look, that nothing we can do about it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nothing we can do. And tensions got really, really high because for the English, they were like, we can't have these former slaves be armed in Spanish Florida, which is what they were. They were armed. They had the militia, all of that. Eventually, they gave in because Spanish power was actually decreasing, especially with the 7 Years' War that happened, which we know as the French and Indian War. But it was a huge problem with escaped slaves leaving South Carolina and Georgia, escaping through the Sea Islands to land in St. Augustine. So, any questions before I roll on a little bit more?
I'm fascinated with this.
I
No,
love this.
I'm not surprised with South Carolina connections with anything in Florida and Spain, though, with the trade. Yeah.
I had no idea about South Carolina because I just thought everybody was in Florida and that was it. I had no idea about South Carolina at
Well, see,
at all.
one thing people don't realize is even the American Revolution, a lot of it was fought in South Carolina and even parts of North Carolina. We always think of Massachusetts and up north, but there was so much of the backwoods fighting. So much of American history has happened in the Carolinas, but there's not a lot written on it.
Yeah, it's the fighting that happened. I want to say the fighting that happened, especially in South Carolina, especially oh my gosh, was it Camden? I think that's what it was. I think it was Camden, Battle of Camden.
Yeah, Camden was in South Carolina, right at the North Carolina border. Yeah,
which was absolutely, the casualties were horrible. There was so much fighting that happened in the South, and for some folks who don't know, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back here to where I have my tree here. Let me show you. There was so much fighting. The reason why there was so much fighting in the South, because the North, the British knew, okay, look, we're getting our asses handed to us. Lexington and Concord, all the militias that were up there, they were armed, were like, look, this is not working. So, why don't we turn it down to the South? Because the South was more loyal to the crown than the North was. As far as Southerners were concerned, that's why the representatives from Virginia, South Carolina, and I think it was Georgia. They were the biggest pains in the asses when it came to independence, especially South Carolina, because South Carolina got a crap ton of money from the slave trade. And the Crown pretty much left them alone because it's hot, nasty, sweaty, yellow fever South Carolina. Nobody's really trying to go there for the most part. But what the British did, or what King George III basically said, is that if you are if you were a slave and you fight for the British, we will give you your freedom. And the British thought that that would cause a massive amount of slaves to come over to the British cause. Well, that did not happen. Hence the huge, nasty, bloody fighting that happened in the South. You had prison ships that were off the coast of Charleston and Savannah. As one of my distant uncles actually died on a prison ship right off of Savannah, Georgia.
And so much of the fighting was and so much it was back. It was like not even traditional fighting. Mass formations like the British did. It was backcountry guerrilla warfare. A lot of it. They did have some up and up battles at times. Different places, and really the South is what turned the war and then moved it north up to where we see where Cornwallis finally surrendered. But the history, and like somebody said, we've not been taught that history down here in these Florida schools. History is very skimmed over, very glossed over. I mean, it's sad though.
Yeah, super cosmic mutant squid. Yes. When I was taught about the Revolutionary War, I was only taught about Lexington, Concord, Battle of Yorktown.
Yep.
That was it.
You were in PA, right? You were in Philly then.
Yeah, I was in PA.
New Jersey, we got a lot of it too, but it was, you didn't get taught a lot of the Southern history. You got told the redacted type of version that they wanted to shove down your throats.
Well, where I heard about it was that when we were stopping at national parks on the way up in South Carolina, North Carolina, it was like all this stuff, and I'm like, what the heck? Then the Bannister Tarleton, the evil guy who they made the framework of that bad cavalry colonel in the Patriot, it's just all that stuff. And we've never heard that stuff down here. I mean, you always thought it was up north where the Revolution was fought, but it's amazing. We stumbled upon one of them, Musgrove Mill, which is just a state park in South Carolina that had a nice waterfall, but it's just amazing. And a lot of history out there, and it's where you go find your resources. LaReina, I know that's a passion of yours. My kid is going to be an archivist, and they spent time in the St. Augustine, that same place in St. Augustine that you've gone to many times. And you have to go through records like that to almost learn stuff these days.
You do. I mean, tons and tons and like tons of
let me ask the panel a question, like you a question, LaReina. If you were a kid now in school, besides the internet, how many times do you think they walked into the library and picked up an old book?
Probably never now, since so much. It's very rare. But now,
a lot of them didn't get put into electronic form.
No, they didn't. As a matter of fact, there's some things that there are projects to get some of those scanned, but for the most part, any history that I've had to research, I've had to go to an archive. They come out with, I don't know how many boxes of stuff. Some of it where they're just like, it's so deteriorated, we cannot let you see it.
Yeah.
Or if they will, it's like under this really, really thick archival plastic. So you can't touch it. Or you have to put gloves on in order to touch it. Because a lot of that stuff is down in like dusty books. Some of them can't be handled very well. Someone told me that a lot of the records that are down in Cuba are just, they're so old. It's, moth-eaten, all of that. It's like they can barely scan them in enough time with what they could get.
And I have some of my granddad's World War II records and the horse cavalry discharge records, and they are barely holding together. They're not very dark. I mean, we're going to have to scan them and stuff, but the papers are all falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And we visited a quilt museum in Colorado when we went around up to the Rockies, and they did that with the quilts and all. The lady had to come out with gloves and a stick to show the missus the backside that she wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
All the other, whether it's cloth, material, paper, over time, it deteriorates, like LaReina said, and that's why it's important for the digital archives now is to try to preserve the records as long as they can. Otherwise, without them, we don't have it. Our friend Sam, she does interviews with the veterans and stuff now in an effort to try to help keep the history going.
Yeah, because actually, I'm going to show you guys this in a little bit, but to get back, so this is basically the crux of all of it, like right here, tracing back from on my my great grandmother OG LaReina Creole's maternal line. They're up through all the Sanchez's. There's a lot of this, the women married into Georgian families, so of course they lost the Spanish last name. But it all goes back to this dude right here, Don Francisco Javier Sanchez. Yes, Don title, which he was given by the King of Spain. Let's see. During the Revolutionary War, he was no respecter of persons. The English governor did not really like him very much, but he was a very, very rich cattle rancher with a lot of military contracts. And dude gave sanctuary to American prisoners, so Patriot prisoners, and Spanish prisoners that were there. So actually, I can get inducted into the Daughters of the American Revolution because he did render aid. Because as far as he was concerned, he really didn't know who was going to win, but he could not freaking stand the British. Whatsoever, because at the end of the 7 Years' War, most of Los Floridanos left to go to Cuba. Only he and Manuel Solana stayed, and they got freaking rich because people did not think that the British would ever leave. Well, America won. Some of them came back. He was rich as hell. During that time, he actually, we'll call it common law married, because they could get married, but under Spanish law, but it was not socially advantageous for him to. Right. So he actually married a white woman from South Carolina. No. She was from North Carolina. Her father was the one who I said killed man and escaped to Spanish Florida because there were no extradition laws. And I actually had the warrant that the governor of North Carolina wrote to find him. Yeah. So I've already verified my line to them. But it is Maria Beatrice Pedra de Stone who is a person of interest, because it's my theory that through her, that's who I'm actually related to. And she was actually sent to Fort Mose from Charleston by her French Huguenot father, John Stone. And her mother was actually a slave named Regina. So that's the crux of that. Basically, after the riots popped off in South Carolina, John Stone did not think that it was safe for his daughter to be there, so he sent her to Fort Mose, where she met my fifth great grandfather, Don Francisco Javier Sanchez, and had 10 kids with him. And he recognized all of them. Because when he died and they had to read the will and everything, all the kids that he had with Maria Beatrice de Pedra, they had all their birth certificates. They were all provided for. Then he died. So he actually recognized the kids, although they didn't get married. So I do not know which one of their particular kids that I descend from. That's like the working theory, which will probably take me the rest of my life to figure out. But if I do, that would be the definitive link to from my family to the first free Black settlement in the Americas, which I had no idea of, whatsoever. So to kind of go over a little bit, but something else to bring up that Dadman was talking about. This is an archive online, and they have like the projects here, like Fort Mose is one of these projects. The collections they have from Brazil, Cuba, Colombia, Florida, Mexico. They have actually sent people to Cuba to digitize and get as many copies as they can of documents that have been there. Some of them are backed up in the Archivo de Indias in Seville, but some have not. So this is another great place to go and look, and you get an idea of what life was back then in the Spanish colonies. So this is a super, super, super cool archive to definitely check out when you get a chance to. So let's see. I don't think what else did I want to show. I want to show you guys. I did not want that to pop off. But anyway,
one thing that you showed earlier with the map, showing the position of Fort Mose in relation to Matanzas or to Castillo San Marcos, was all that's underwater now in marshy grounds and stuff. The original site is lost to history.
Mm-hmm.
So what they've got is a replication now built up on another part of the land. It's just interesting how nature has reclaimed it. And even I think some of those rivers in there have changed, like has happened to the Mississippi River, Vicksburg and that area in the Civil War. These rivers and stuff do change either by human intervention or just nature sometimes. And it's interesting to see these plat maps these maps that were drawn on what we saw at the time and compare it to current day and what we go out and see. It's just amazing,
Yeah, it really is. And I love looking at the reenactors. I don't want to call them cosplayers because they're like reenactors,
right?
Which they literally everything down from the scratchy wool Spanish military. I can't imagine what people smell like. I can't. I can't. I got to touch one and it's like this heavy wool. I'm like, what are y'all crazy? But yeah, this is basically what they did. They had a Black militia charged with defending the fort, but also, should they be called, to defend the Castillo de San Marcos. Because something that's not shown here is that there was an actual pathway from Fort Mose to the Castillo de San Marcos. So if you were up at Fort Mose and you're part of the militia, your job was to look out for any ships flying the British flag or any other flag that was not the Spanish flag. So as soon as they saw, they would light up the signals that would travel down to St. Augustine, so they knew something was up. So when Fort Mose was actually attacked by Oglethorpe, the Battle of Bloody Mose, let's see right here, reenactment, Battle of Bloody Mose, they actually had to flee to the Castillo de San Marcos. But there was an actual pathway for them to do that. So usually, anytime the city was threatened, everybody went into the Castillo de San Marcos for protection. So yeah, it's really cool. If you go down to Fort Mose, there's so many great exhibits, especially with how many different African nations were represented. Not everyone was Christian. You had some there who were Muslim. Well, we'll say side practicing Muslim, because in order to live there, you had to basically say, yeah, I'm Catholic. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm Catholic. Yeah. I'm Catholic. But on the side, do other stuff. It's kind of like how it is. With voodoo. They say that they're Catholic, but they'll practice that on
the same
side.
with Santeria in Cuba.
Mm-hmm. And they don't see a conflict with the two at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but
If you ask them what their religion is, they'll say Catholic,
mhm,
and they don't even realize how it kind of what. So the Santeria is like a big contradiction and no to even
mhm.
Catholicism.
I mean,
It's weird.
Santeria,
It's very
between,
bizarre.
voodoo and New Orleans. Yep. So let's see something else I'm going to show you guys. So there is a museum, and I actually went here. Definitely check it out if you go to St. Augustine. There's so much information here about Fort Mose, about the people that were there. There's this big, huge, blown up declaration um, from the King of Spain about what Fort Mose was supposed to be for. Oh, excuse me. His Spanish law was definitely different from English law. I won't say better,
Mhm.
it was just different. Because under Spanish law, if you were a slave under Spanish law, you had a way to get out of slavery. You would be able to pay your way out of slavery, something called the cortación that was in Spanish law. You paid that, you were free and declared a Spanish citizen. And the person who was, that you were enslaved to could not refuse that payment. They had to accept it. And the reason why I paused there is because there is this notoriously acrimonious court case because my fifth great grandfather, Don Francisco Javier Sanchez, his most valued slave, tried to pay Cortacion and he wouldn't take it. He would not take it. He he lost his shit.
Oh,
And it is documented in court. Yes, I think I did a stream about this last year, but I'll have to do it again where we will go through the court doc. He went kicking and screaming. I
no.
kicked you, and because this
Wow.
was, I mean, if this and the person was Felipe Edinburgh, which I'll have to talk about. He and like his wife, he wanted to get his freedom and his wife's freedom. He it's almost not fair to call him a slave. He's more like CEO. So whenever Don Francisco went to Cuba, like when he went to Cuba to tell them, hey, the Patriots won the war, and it was great. He managed everything. He managed all of his properties, all the slaves on the properties, everything. He was pretty much like the CEO. So when he was like, hey, I want to leave, I got the money to leave. Mm-mm. It was it was really, really nasty. It was so bad that it shocked everyone, even shocked, Spanish nobles. They're just like, this is something we have in law to do. So why are you being such an asshole about this? Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to go over that one. But that's what happened. You had some
No.
people who were free. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Damon.
Oh no, no, I just yeah, you're right. You're right about that, and that's what's so cool with history. You know, finding out about those things. It's not just boring. It's live in life. I mean, the things that you can learn.
Yeah, it's
There's also that cliche: those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. A
mhm.
lot of people don't even know what's going on. They don't, what's going to happen. Just don't get it.
Nope, they don't. But this is a really cool museum to go to. You can see stories that have been documented about some of the people who have lived there. Um, some of the situations where you have a soldier who is free, but they have children with a slave, and they're just like, I'm trying to save up money so I can actually uh, buy their freedom. I will tell you this: the lie that people say that the only reason that there were black slave owners in America was so that they could redeem their families out of slavery. That did not happen. No, it didn't happen. Not under English law. It did not happen. So
Mhm.
just to the reason why I say that, and this is on my dad's side. This is with the Creole side of the family. Okay, which I do descend from one of the largest. He was mulatto, one of the largest black slave owners in Opelousas, Louisiana. Okay. He did when his I think when his mistress died, his slave died, that's the only reason why he wound up giving the kids their freedom. That's it.
Mm.
He wasn't paying for anybody else. They weren't paying for any other relatives. That was it.
Mm.
That was how messed up it was. But anyway,
Mhm.
definitely check out this visitor center. It's great. You can see like the Spanish records, you can see the English rebuttal, you can see everything about like how life was there. But I did not know, and it does my heart so good to find this out because, Dad, you were talking about how all of that had been reclaimed.
Right.
The swamp. You can go see the original area, which is just it's just swampland, and you can just envision
Yeah.
what that is. But centuries later, Fort Mose finally has a fort again. This is coming from Jacksonville Today by Noah Hertz. Despite its name, it's been centuries since a fort stood at Fort Mose Historic Park until now. Tucked away in the marshes of St. Augustine, Fort Mose is the site of the first settlement founded by freed Black slaves in which would become the United States. Now to back up a little bit, and someone said, was it that it was just about the North? Yeah, for the Revolutionary War. Yeah, no one really
Mm.
talked about what happened in the South at all. You had how to put this. British East Florida and British West Florida did not rebel against the crown. As a matter of fact, they were burning effigies of Ben Franklin and Sam Adams outside the Castillo de San Marcos. They were
Mhm.
not happy about it. You had people who left, like Georgia and South Carolina, brought themselves and their slaves into British East Florida and British West Florida because that's where all the loyalists went. Real cool to look that up. But not only was it Fort Mose, but once once the Americans took over Florida, Underground Railroad in the South started to go through Mexico, and that's a story about John Horse. We'll talk about it another time. But this is so cool. See, more than 300 years ago, a group of Black people enslaved in the English colonies fled to Spanish territory seeking freedom. And as you can see, this is the Spanish Burgundian flag, which I had no idea like where that one came from. But if you look at the Florida state flag, the red stripes are
Mhm.
smooth; they're not jagged, but they got it from this. That's the Burgundian flag. I forget the other name for it, but that's basically it. But yeah, this is what it looked like. The heavy Spanish military uniform and wool socks and all of that, and that's the fort. So yeah, in 1738, the then governor of Spanish Florida, which was I think was General Montiano, acknowledged Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose, or Fort Mose, as an official settlement. After that, the site became a bastion of freedom for enslaved people. The fort was a site of numerous battles between Spanish troops led by former slave captain Francisco Menendez and English troops. Francisco Menendez was not, that was his Spanish name. He had an English name because he escaped from South Carolina. So what a lot of the escaped slaves did was when they left the British colonies and came to Fort Mose, they gave themselves Spanish names, which makes it a pain in the butt sometimes to trace these people.
Mhm. Yep.
Because they'll have an English name and then when they settle in as a Spanish citizen in Spanish Florida, it's like the trail goes cold. Because for one of my fifth great grandfathers, um, oh my gosh, what's his name? Philip Young. Okay, I couldn't find him in anything, but then I had to look up the name Enrique. Boom, then I found all his stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what happens a lot. Because another one of my ancestors, Stephen Bradford, he actually bought land like around Biloxi, Mississippi. He actually bought it from a Spanish captain, but I couldn't find any records on him. But in Spanish records, he's listed as Esteban Bradford and not Stephen Bradford. So you see what's going on here. So let's see. It wasn't until the end of the 7 Years' War in 1763 that Spain ceded Florida to England. And after that, Black people who called Fort Mose home left, fleeing further south into Spanish Cuba. It was not all of them. That's a slight correction. It was not all of them. I know with Don Francisco Javier Sanchez and the daughters that he had with uh, Maria Beatriz de Pedro, all the daughters married peninsular Spaniards, so they left and went to Cuba. The son, Jose, stayed. He first married a mulatto woman who was actually, I think, the daughter of the royal accountant. Well, she died. So he wound up marrying one of his father's slaves, and they went and settled at oh my gosh. What is that? What is that island? Fernandina? I think it's Fernandina.
Which one? Just north? Because
Yeah.
you got Amelia Island where Fernandina
You know what?
is.
Yeah, it is Amelia Island. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. So he settled up in Amelia Island. So he's the only one who stayed. No, he had a couple of other sisters that stayed. Two sisters who were twins that were not married. And unfortunately, he had two brothers who both died on the same day. It was a cholera epidemic. It was sad. It was really sad. So here it is. You can go and check it out. The lady with the red hair all the way over here, her name is Jane Landers. If it was not for her work that she's done detailing so many records and history of my family, I never would have found it. So you got to read, kids. You got to read.
Yes.
You got to get books. My Spanish is horrible. I can read it a lot better than I can speak it because try reading Spanish in cursive and somebody's janky handwriting. You're trying to figure out which one it is. And not only that, but because they have like 3 first names, you have to get them right or you get the wrong person. It's just something else. So yeah, that is definitely something to check out if you love history, love finding out history that's not talked about in schools. Because also remember, Florida didn't become a state until 1841. So they're not really incorporating this type of history. Although, to be fair, a lot of this stuff was not discovered until I want to say the past 25 years, 30 years.
That's happening in a lot of history. Some of the podcasts that I follow, especially with World War II, they've said that about a number of things, even things from the Battle of Midway, which was in 42. Mm-hmm. A lot of our history was based on rumors or accounts passed down, but they found records and stuff was not translated from Japanese over. They're finding things we thought were not true, or for people just accepted it, but there's other evidence. You have to read the documentation, especially if it was created at the time, and see what's out there. Because the documents, like you said, you got to read also. You got action accounts, you got everything else by the people that were there. Sometimes they're not reliable, but then again, you got flight records. You can, we're learning so much more every day by just translating stuff from other languages. Also, just because it's in English doesn't make it the only source in some cases.
Yes.
And unfortunately, like with our Florida history, it's never taught in high school and stuff. It really isn't. My kid, part of what she did at university down here was that she focused on some of the Florida collection stuff. It was a thing, and that's not gorgeous and sexy in the world of history to a lot of people, but it was a local thing. She did a specific lecture or project on Eartha M.M. White, but she had to go to that archive to dig in to get records. And there's so much out there that we're not even yet to explore, and we're still finding records, or people finding information in the archives that have just been sitting there waiting to be dug up.
Yeah,
Wait,
absolutely.
Which way you mean dug up? I mean, that's kind of grave robbing.
No. No, I could have said I probably all kinds of crazy terms. I could have probably come up with all kinds of crazy terms.
But yeah, you are absolutely right with that. It's like these are some things in history that you have to search for. And it's not easy. It kind of reminds me of something that I think it was the first Indiana Jones movie. It's like, yeah, a lot of archaeology is going through a whole lot of dusty old books. And I have been through a lot of dusty old books, putting things, together. Not so much in Florida. It's kind of weird. It's like there's only certain records, but you still have to go through and search them. So it's like if I go to Cape Cod, which I did to research my third great grandfather, the abolitionist Yankee carpetbagger came down here after the Civil War was over. Everybody else left after Reconstruction, but he stayed here and died here because basically the whole town owed him money. He had everybody's property mortgaged, and I don't think I told you guys this, because the South was destitute. Confederate money was worthless. So what most people had was just their land. And since my third great grandfather's Cape Cod family was basically Kennedy rich, all they did was write mortgages. And the mortgages were so draconian that it stated what they could and could not grow on their own land. I'd never seen mortgages like that in my life. You couldn't even sell certain things on your land, and if you did, you had to give a certain percentage to them. It was a real messed up family, which I'm finding out. But yeah, it's one of the things they did. The historical archives on a place called the Villages. But yeah, when I went to Cape Cod and I went to research who this guy was, and I go and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get a couple of records, right? They're like, wait here. They rolled out 2 big freaking boxes of nothing but records, ledgers, contracts, crazy amount of stuff that was there. So really cool finding that stuff. Hey guys, Scar, did you see the halftime show? We gonna talk about it on Thursday. Good seeing you, my dear. But yeah, it's really amazing discovering history, especially Florida history. The fact that Florida became a state is why Plymouth does not hold the record for the first Thanksgiving. That belongs to Florida now. And I love pissing off my masshole cousins.
Massholes are fun to play with.
Spoken like a true Floridian and Southerner. Yep.
Yeah, I got my buddy. He used to take the Massachusetts whole hats and make mass whole hats out of them.
Yeah.
I said I can see why my second grandfather had all of them dug up, reburied in Orleans, Massachusetts, and he left and never went back.
No.
It's pretty screwed up. But anyway, want to talk about that. Next week we will trying to decide which subject we're gonna talk about, whether it's gonna be looking at records or no, I think we're going to talk about the Patriot War of 1812.
Oh,
I think we're going to talk about that because most people know about the War of 1812,
Right.
but I don't think you know about the Patriot War of 1812. Dadman, have you heard of the Patriot War of 1812?
I vaguely familiar with it, but not much. So it is it's going to be interesting to finally learn more about it, though.
Yeah, basically the Patriot War of 1812. James Monroe authorized an illegal incursion of United States dragoons into Spanish Florida.
You've mentioned that before. That's where I remembered hearing it from. You had mentioned that before.
Yeah. Because you had Georgian farmers who were threatened that there were armed Black people in Spanish Florida. And James Monroe had his sights on acquiring Spanish Florida, but he couldn't legitimize that sort of thing. So he kind of sent in the A-team to try and take over Spanish Florida. And that's what's known as the Patriot War of 1812. And my fourth great grandfather found himself in a very precarious position. We're going to talk about that next week. It's going to be really, really, really cool. Lots of fighting, lots of weird stuff.
Yep.
Very, very interesting. Honestly, they should make that into a movie, honestly. The Patriot War of 1812. Hardly I hadn't seen anything about it, read anything about it till I started researching my family. So it is
like you said, there's so much history out there that we don't even know. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That we don't. But if you really want some reading to kind of put you to sleep, but it is really cool stuff, go read the East Florida Papers. They are available in the National Archives. And you will find out all kinds of stuff about Florida and pretty much how Spain screwed everybody over, all of their subjects when they sold to the United States. They said, yeah, basically we'll sell you everything that doesn't have people on it. Yeah. So once they sold it, the United States basically came back and said, how do you know I don't know if you own that land or not. You need to prove to me that you own that land or not. So all these Floridians had to go back, find all their original deeds from, land grants from the King of Spain, all that. And they had to constantly communicate with the United States government to prove that they owned the land that they lived on. So when people say make Florida Spain again, I said, hell no.
No, you don't want that now either.
No, not whatsoever. Well, you guys have been absolutely amazing hanging out with us. Over 100 of you watching between all the channels, the YouTube, X, all of that stuff. Let's go around, shout out our channels, and have people know where they can find you. Erica, where can people find you, and what do you have coming up?
Well, if my tech works with me, you can find me on my channels at Hanging with Erica and Raph, Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Raph and I started live streaming, so you can come and hang out with us. And there's no specific niche to what we talk about. It's just literally whatever comes up in conversation with friends. Yeah, and so far it seems to be. I don't know. We're having fun. I hope people that are, it's going well. I think it is. It's exciting.
I would say that it is. It's such a fun show. Please, you go check it out. I can't because I'm working, so I ninja watch. Just so you know,
Sneaking on a break, pop in for
I
5
ninja.
seconds.
Yeah, I ninja watch. But you have to go check it out. It's
It
such a fun.
can get spicy though. I got really spicy on Friday because I was so angry that my tech completely failed on me.
I
I
was
was
not
so
the tech
mad.
who failed. Her actual tech failed. Just saying.
No, yeah, it wasn't Tom and it wasn't MJ. It was literally my equipment. Just, and
I
I'm
have
still
had
having tweaking issues.
I've had that happen. Revenge of the equipment. Of course, just wait till you're live, and then all of a sudden everything goes black.
Oh, see, don't say that because then that's
I don't think that would happen to you because I asked too much of a little computer and I fried it.
You made that poor thing scream for help.
I did. It,
No,
it,
we
it
pay enough for computers. They should last 20 years. We should, I mean, all this, it's a
you
conspiracy
know
to take our money.
that
our
meme art
phones should last
YouTube
20 years as much as they cost.
and he
Yeah.
just falls over. That was that was my poor little mini computer that just
If that computer could grow
died.
legs and jump itself out your window, it would have.
Oh, it would have. It would have. So yeah, it died and well, I had a warranty on it, so I used to buy the graphics cards. You bet. Dan, man, what you got going on, and where can people find you, my dear?
Oh man. Yeah, well, everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Best place to follow me is on Twitter because I'll go live. If the notifications don't work, I always tweet out when I go. But it's Dadman Walking 55 everywhere. In that case, this week, Tuesday, I might be doing duos with Jess tomorrow night and Fortnite, but it might be late at night. Tuesday night, 9 p.m., we're going to be talking football, talking about the Super Bowl and other things that we got going in the world of sports. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, the Miss and I are doing a new Wednesday night show. The two of us just sitting around chatting a bit and talking. Come hang out with us a little bit and see what goes. And Friday, we reconstituted the Fortnite Divas Squad. Not only the missus with Jess with us, but Sam Wolf is with us. It's like my little sister giving me a hard time playing Fortnite. It's get her driving a Reboot van. It's up there with your I need a ride. It's a wonderful time. Come by on Friday night at 9 o'clock with us on that. And then next Sunday at 6 before your show next Sunday, I'm gonna chill stream with Teresa Martin, Miss Martin Muses. So busy week coming up this week. So but thank you as always, LaReina. And folks, join this channel. Memberships here. You get more than your money's worth with all the opportunities that LaReina provides for content, and always support this channel. I say I think I was in the first 1,000 or something, but yeah, I looked the other day, it's like 5 years. So, but yes. Yeah.
Some of y'all have been around. I need a special club for y'all. And here's my sister. LaReina makes her electronics work hard. You should have seen her old Keurig. Yeah.
It costs enough. This stuff should last. Yeah.
No, I don't think you understand. I can't believe it lasted as long as it did.
I had one that lasted a good 7 years, but then every model after that, maybe a year.
Oh Lord, I hope not. I hope not, because I got a nice new one.
I won't buy them anymore. I'm done with Keurig.
I don't know what happened to mine, but I had a mini Keurig, where you fill it up with the water each time. And that thing, I think I had it for 7 years. And my sister bought me a new one. And then she finally unplugged it and she's just like, let it go.
Oh gosh, sounds like Dr. Jones to Dr. Jones. Indiana, let it go.
Let it. But it's blue though. It's Tiffany blue. I can't.
Oh my gosh, Tom, you need to get AI involved and have LaReina and her sister reenact the Dr. Jones to Dr. Jones series as seen in the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where the Holy Grail's there, and he's like, I can get it, Indiana. Let it go.
Let it go.
Tom can do it with AI.
I
don't know if I'm up to that. I don't know if I have enough
have to let it go.
to try to do that with LaReina and her sister going off. Oh my God.
That would be hilarious.
Well, Tom, what do you have going on? Where can people find you, my dear?
I let's see, on Erica's channel. I show up on Dad Man's every once in a while, and then he wrote me into Fortnite on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get some of my own stuff done. I'm modding Pro Show as we are right here, and it's insane. So I'm all over the place. I'm spread thin. I'm not even a bad rash. I'm just like anthrax. I'm everywhere during the Middle Ages.
All right. Well, folks, we have got a link to Tom's channel in the description box of the video. As for your girl, I always have to say it. What day is it? It's Sunday. So I will see you all Thursday for the Spice Lounge. My guest is going to be Guy Scar of the Bosco Scenario. Going to be mixing it up with him on the show, catching you guys up with everything that is happening in pop culture for the week. Hello, Double A. Yes, I'm sorry. I missed you, my dear. Hello, LaReina Creole, the YouTube queen. You are.
Can I say something real quick in there? I think it was just Nita had asked about where Fort Mose is. It's just north of St. Augustine. It's off of US 1, but you will miss it because there's a very small brown sign that says Fort Mose off to the side. So you've got to really look for where you're going. But it's just north of St. Augustine.
Yes. Yeah, you punch it in a GPS. Actually, you'll be able. Yeah, you'll be able to find it. Yeah, thank you. So glad you enjoyed it. Thursday Spice Lounge, Saturday watch party for the Princess Bride. If things go well, I may be live streaming from the Magic Kingdom on Saturday. I have to see how things go, but it's going to be a blast. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for supporting the show. I have so much fun sharing all the craziness there is in the state of Florida. We love it here. Take care, everyone. Bye.